Welcome to Voices of MCU, where we delve into the depths of wisdom and spirituality. Get ready as we embark on a journey of fostering faith and cultivating leaders. And now it's time for Leadership Unleashed with Dr. John Ughulu, where purpose, faith, and leadership meet.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, good day to you. I am Dr. John Ughulu, an author and a public speaker. It is an honor and a privilege speaking to you today, and I would like to discuss a topic that impacts every leader. It impacts every organization and every community. And the topic is navigating organizational change. We all know change is inevitable, whether it's the shifting dynamics of the workplace, evolving technology, or changes in leadership. One thing is certain: change will come. And how we as leaders respond to change can make all the difference in how successfully our organizations adapt and thrive. So today, I want to take you on a journey of wisdom, courage, and transformation. We will explore lessons from the Bible, stories of great leaders, and even the wisdom of nature, particularly the eagle, the lion, and the mighty fruit tree. I love nature. I love to use nature as examples. Now, these stories will help us understand the importance of embracing change with resilience and clarity, and most importantly, how to lead others through times of uncertainty. First, we will be looking at the challenge of change, which we all know is a universal truth. If there's one thing everybody knows, including you who's listening right now, we all know that change can be uncomfortable. It challenges us to step outside our comfort zone, reassess our strategies, and sometimes even reevaluate our purpose. But here's the thing: change is not the enemy. Rather, it's the way we respond to change that determines its impact on our lives and organizations. The Bible in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." Change is a part of the natural order of life. It's a season that comes and it goes. And as leaders, we must recognize that each season has its own purpose. But how do we navigate this inevitable change? How do we ensure that our organizations grow and thrive through change rather than being broken by it? Let's take a look at a few stories from the Bible and history that can provide us with timeless answers. We will be looking at the story of Moses, how he embraced the unknown. For those of us who are familiar with the Bible, one of the most significant examples of navigating change in the Bible comes from the life of Moses. When God called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses was faced with monumental change, not just for him, but for an entire nation. In Exodus chapter 3, verse 10, God said to Moses, "So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." At this moment, Moses was not just being asked to change his own life, but to lead others through an immense transition. He was faced with doubt, fear, and even uncertainty of the future. In fact, Moses initially resisted. We all know that, questioning his own abilities and even asking God. He asked God, he said, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" But God's answer to Moses was simple and powerful. He said, "I will be with you." That's what Exodus 3, chapter 3, verse 12 says. Now, this is a key lesson for all leaders facing change. We do not navigate change alone. Just as God promised to be with Moses, he promises to be with us in times of change. So when we face the unknown, we must trust that we are not leading alone. The strength and wisdom to lead through change comes from a higher source. As leaders, we need to recognize that change often requires a leap of faith. It challenges us to trust in a vision that we cannot fully see. Trust in a vision to take risks and to lead others into the unknown. And when we feel unsure, let's always remember that God's presence and guidance will always accompany us as we navigate the changing tides of our organizations. Now, let's also look at the wisdom of the eagle, seen beyond the present. If we turn to nature right now for some wisdom, the eagle, like we all know, which is one of the most majestic birds in creation, provides us with valuable lessons of navigating change. Eagles are known for their ability to soar high above the storm clouds, using the winds to carry them to new heights. When faced with a storm, eagles do not shy away from it. Instead, they embrace it. Eagles have an incredible ability to use the storm's updrafts to lift them higher rather than being brought down by the storm. In the same way, as leaders, we must learn to use the challenges and pressures of change to lift our organizations to new heights. Rather than avoiding difficult times, we should use them as opportunities to grow and innovate. The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." So, in times of organizational change, it's easy to feel exhausted. It's easy to feel overwhelmed or even discouraged. But just like the eagle, we must rise above the storm. We must find strength in our faith, and we must look for new opportunities to grow. I want you to ask yourself this question right now. How can you harness the winds of change in your organization to soar to greater heights? I want you to embrace the challenges, but they are the very force that can help you rise and evolve. Let's look at the lion, which we all know is a symbol of strength, courage, and leadership. Lions are known for their powerful presence and their ability to lead their pride with unwavering courage. But did you know that lions also exhibit a remarkable adaptability when it comes to change? In the wild, a lion's territory is constantly changing. They face competition from other animals, shifts in food sources, and even sometimes challenges to their position as leaders. But yet, the lion does not retreat in the face of change. Instead, It adapts, it recalibrates, and leads with authority. As leaders, we can learn from the lion's resilience and courage. Change will definitely challenge us, it will test us, and sometimes it will shake the foundations of what we know. But just like the lion, we must rise with courage and embrace the changes with strength. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. It says, "The wicked flee though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." In times of change, we are called to be bold, to stand firm, and to lead with integrity. True leaders don't shy away from change. They face it head on with the courage to make difficult decisions and lead others through it. Now, let's look at a tree, for example. Just as trees experience seasons of growth, pruning, and sometimes harvest, our organizations also go through periods of change. And in most cases, it is required because it helps us build our patience. A fruit tree doesn't bear fruit overnight. It requires time, it requires nurturing, and also care. And similarly, organizational change takes time. Let's look at the book of John, chapter 15, verse 2. Jesus says, "He cuts off every branch that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be given more fruitful." This passage teaches us that in times of change, there may be unnecessary actions, there may be necessary pruning, but letting go of old habits, outdated processes, or unproductive strategies will come into play. But this pruning is essential for new growth. As leaders, we must be patient with the process of change. While pruning may be uncomfortable, it is necessary for the flourishing of the organization. Are we willing to let go of the old so we can make way for the new? That's a question you should think about. Change is not just about immediate results, it's about steady, patient growth that leads to greater fruits in the future. Let's now turn to one of the greatest leaders of the 20th century. We're talking about Nelson Mandela. Mandela's life was a powerful example of how to navigate profound organizational and societal change. After spending 27 years in prison, he emerged to lead South Africa through one of the most significant transitions in history, the end of apartheid. Mandela's leadership was marked by his ability to embrace change with grace, not just to embrace the change, but with grace, and his unwavering commitment to reconciliation and unity. All put together made it work. Rather than seeking revenge for the injustices he had faced, Mandela worked tirelessly to build a new nation based on forgiveness, equity, and mutual respect. Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." His life is a testament to the fact that change, no matter how daunting, is possible with the right leadership, vision, and commitment. Now, as we reflect on these stories and examples, let's consider practical strategies for navigating organizational change. So you who's a leader, who's listening to us right now, who's listening to me right now, the first thing you need to do to navigate organizational change is, number one, embrace the unknown with faith. Like Moses, you need to understand that change often requires us to step into the unknown, but we are never alone. Secondly, you must harness challenges as opportunities. Just like the eagle, you need to use the pressures of change to rise to new heights. And thirdly, you must lead with courage and strength. Like the lion, you have to face change with boldness and determination. And number four, you have to be patient with the process. Nothing good comes easy. Just like the fruit tree, you have to understand that growth takes time, and sometimes pruning is necessary. And lastly, number five, you have to be a visionary leader. Like Mandela, you need to see change as an opportunity for reconciliation, growth, and transformation. A wise person once said, a leader sees before others see, and a leader sees farther than others. So, in conclusion, navigating organizational change is not easy, but it is necessary for growth and transformation. So, as leaders, we have the opportunity to guide our organizations through the storms, to rise above the challenges, and to shape the future with wisdom, courage, and patience. Here's a question I want you to ponder on. How will you lead through change? Think about it. Will you face it with the faith of Moses, the strength of a lion, the vision of an eagle, or the patience of a tree? The choice is yours. But remember, change is not something to fear. It is something to embrace, for through it, we become stronger, wiser, and better equipped to fulfill our purpose. Thank you.
If you would like to become a sponsor of Voices of MCU, please go to the description, find the link, and connect with us.